If you saw my review of WWE 2K22 from last year, and late last year, may I add, you know that I made my custom cover for my GOAT John Cena. If only I knew that he would be the for real cover star of the next year's game that I'm reviewing for you today, WWE 2K23. Keep in mind, I do think I'll be reviewing this game very differently to how I reviewed WWE 2K22. For example, I have not checked out 2K23's Universe Mode or my GM stuff from this particular game, as those modes just don't really interest me personally. I'm sorry. I plan on playing those modes, but just to get the trophies, I will admit. Also, I don't want any influence from my WWE 2K22 review, so I have not rewatched that just before doing this review right here. So yeah, let's go back to January 2023 this year. I remember just the tease of WWE 2K23 was enough to get me excited in itself, but holy guacamole, John Cena revealed as the cover star, and all 3 editions too. I personally went with getting the deluxe edition out of the 3, although I definitely would have gone for the Icon edition if there was a physical copy for that. I don't know why there's not, and I don't like that. But if you know me, you know that John Cena is my hero, idol, my favorite wrestler of all time, and my friend. Yes, I met the man himself, as I am a Make-A-Wish kid, which, if you know me, I've talked about endlessly and won't get into that too much in this review. That being said, this game was already sold to me just on John Cena being the cover and showcase star. Speaking of showcase mode, while I was excited out of my mind for a Cena showcase, I was initially extremely upset, I won't lie. Pretty angry too, I'm not gonna lie, with how they were doing Cena's showcase mode. And it was that not only do you play matches that John Cena had lost, but you gotta play as his opponents. And that had me thinking immediately, oh my gosh, you just couldn't resist throwing a bone to his piece of shit hate cult, could you? And to some extent, even after playing the mode myself, I still do feel that way. But at the end of the showcase, there was some pretty phenomenal extra stuff. As if the game developers were to say, come on now, you didn't think we were leaving fans of John Cena in the dust, were you?
Oh, Cena and Reigns. This is going to be a classic, and it may be a short one as well. Can you believe how Cena threw Reigns out of the air into the attitude adjustment? And Cena with a win.
I cannot believe how quickly John Cena just disposed of Roman Reigns.
That had to feel good for big match John here tonight.
A big match, a big moment, and now it's time for John Cena to enjoy it.
That right there is, as of 17th October 2023, when this video is made and uploaded, unfortunately the closest we have to Cena officially pinning Reigns in WWE. Yes, the first extra showcase match you choose as one of his opponents in the showcase to play as, and you immediately get beaten and squashed. I love it. I freaking love it. As for the next bonus match, you literally face Super Cena, which is literally an invisible 100 overall maxed out John Cena. And for this, I chose to play as Kurt Angle to beat Super Cena. Why did I choose Kurt Angle, may you ask? Well, because Kurt Angle rightfully refers to John Cena as the greatest of all time, says he'd love his daughter to date someone like John Cena, and overall there's pretty much nothing but the best things to say about John Cena. The GOAT. And the third and by far best extra showcase match, you finally play as John Cena himself at WrestleMania in a fatal 4-way elimination match against Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Bruno Sammartino. And you have to eliminate them all. Only playing as John Cena in the very last match of Showcase actually, of all things, reminded me of Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King video game. How you don't play as Frodo until the very last level. Anyway, here's when I beat Hogan, Austin, and Bruno.
Bruno reminding him that he's here to take care of business. This is truly awesome. Oh man, I'm not liking the look of the table with a four for the win.
And Stone Cold has been eliminated. Uh-oh. Here it comes, legendary. Knuckle shuffle. Here he goes for the win. Can he close it out? Hogan is eliminated. Has lost his chance. Cena. That has got to be the one. Here is your winner, John Cena! An absolutely thrilling fatal four-way win here tonight.
All three of his opponents really made him fight tooth and nail to capture the victory tonight.
Showcase mode was presented differently here as opposed to 2K22. Because here we had background music in matches like SmackDown Here Comes the Pain instead of like commentary during the matches. And you know, showcase mode in general, like, as you know, it did make me mad when I first heard about how they were doing it. And while it's not exactly how I would have done it, I still loved it. Especially with the redeeming last 3 extra matches to end the showcase mode. That was so epic, man. But now let's talk about other things about the game, finally. You know, as opposed to the John Cena showcase mode stuff and cover star stuff. And, you know, you guys know that sold me on this game already, but this game overall, even aside from that, I love to death. And let's start with a new match type that I was unbelievably excited to play about in this game. War games. This might be the most amazing, exhilarating, most epic match type I have ever played in any wrestling video game ever. What's amazing is that this match type could be even better in the games, you know. Like, imagine if it had like an elimination toggle mode. If you could have it be like an elimination war games match. Too much epicness, baby. I really don't know how to put into words how much I adore the addition of the War Games match. It is everything that you could possibly ever want and more. Although it can be hard to win, And I think that might be why I haven't played it too many times. But, well, this still, even then, might, honest to God, be by far the best match type I ever played in wrestling games, ever. Now, the gameplay in general, pretty much the same as WWE 2K22. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Amazing roster additions, mostly like NXT people. You know, love those. I don't really want to go too deep into that, but lots and lots of amazing additions to the roster. My Faction, still a underrated mode, and they made it way easier. Like, you don't have to, get anywhere near as many accomplishments as you had to in 2K22 this time. They really dialed that back, because it was a lot. I finished them all, but yes, it was a lot. Still a pretty underrated mode. The soundtrack is kick-ass. I adore the soundtrack. Lots of awesome songs like Hardy, Jack, Doja Cat, Vegas, I think that's the song. SUVs. Other awesome songs in this too. Can't Stop. Metallica. Amazing soundtrack. Now, My Rise, I haven't played too much of, honestly. But like, it looks fun, It looks like it's a bit different from the last one. Like, it looks like this one might be like one full story as opposed to like several stories like My Rise was in 2K22. But I haven't really played it enough. But I'm still excited for it. There's lots of unlockables I still need from My Rise. DLC. The DLC this year, not the best, but man, some like singular superstars are incredible additions in the DLC. Oh my gosh, Zeus especially, Uncle Howdy, Harley Race, Wade Barrett. I love, I don't know if this was a thing that was always there, but for me, it feels like this really got added to 2K23, if that makes sense. How you can change the settings, and for me, I've changed it so that kicking out of anything is just the easiest thing ever. Alright, if you want my formula for that, for the settings, feel free to ask. But leave a comment on my review as a whole first, please. Yeah. And now, here's for the thing in this game that just really put it over the edge in terms of epicness for me. Not that it wasn't already epic, but that is community creations. Wow. Thanks to so many PC players, smart tech people, it's almost like we made this game even more our own. Community creations, because of these players. Even though the game makers do not like it, we now have some intergender wrestlers. We can download Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, etc. from community creations, and the game will recognize them as a man, so that we can have male versus female matches. Insane, like, wacky building stuff, like playing the War Games arena with the 2 rings. You can't do that with both rings in the regular mode, so that's a mod that we can play too. And it's just like we gotta thank these PC players, man. Like, far out, they really made this game just over the edge, Especially, alright, there hasn't been quite as many, I feel like they stopped that, like, the intergender wrestlers thing. But man, there's like a good dozen, like, intergender wrestlers, I think. And I love that. I'm thankful for that still. And like all the crazy arenas you can do, the crazy mods, it's too much, man. And what's amazing is this is something made by fans that they can share with other fans, that they share with other fans, and this isn't something that the makers intended. But I promise you, if they happen to be watching this stuff made us love the game even more. If you remember that SpongeBob episode, House Party, when, oh my gosh, the party wasn't going how I wanted to. But at the end, Patrick was like, that was the greatest party any of us have ever been to. I think like it's like that. You know? Just amazing. Now, let me talk about next gen. Because I did buy this game, you know, when it first came out. I did buy it for PS4, the deluxe edition, but being that I got the deluxe edition, I also would have gotten the free PS5 upgrade when I was ready. I finally got my own PS5 in June. And I won't lie, because I didn't have a 4K TV, I didn't think that I was going to be able to play the, see much, if any, of a graphical difference. But man, I promise you, even on a regular HD TV, you see the graphical upgrades. It is beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's like they remade the whole game from scratch if you were to play it on PS5 next gen. Enough said. It's still the same game, but just even more beautiful, even more PS5. You know, I don't know what else to say, man. Absolutely love it. In conclusion, I love WWE 2K23 to death, with everything it has, from the roster to John Cena being the cover star, the showcase star, even things I didn't even really talk about, like the beautiful, shiny, golden slip cover that the deluxe edition comes with. The DLC characters, the My Rise, but of course, the community creation stuff especially, and the John Cena stuff especially. I love 2K23 with all my heart. I really do. I love it so much that I don't want a WWE 2K24. Unless you make John Cena the cover star once again. In that case, I'll very happily get WWE 2K24. But honestly, I gave WWE 2K22 a 10 out of 10 in my review last year, but this game is like so much better than that. I forget about that game completely. Honest to God. I love 2K23 to death. Obviously 10 out of 10. Like, you don't need me to tell you that. This is already my favorite wrestling game of all time. This is already one of my top 5 video games of all time ever. Period. With everything I listed. Hope you guys enjoyed my review, y'all. I'm your boy Mark. Peace out.